Hey, everybody, it's Danny. Will, are you there? Are we on? Can you hear me, brother? Let's start this thing.
We're ready for you. We've got a bunch of people waiting on you, Danny.
Woohoo! What a good day, eh, Will?
Very good.
Hi, everybody. Is everybody muted? What's going on? Will, tell me what's going on.
Yes, they're all muted.
Okay, because I know there's a bunch of people on the call, so maybe we can do some question stuff afterwards. Well, let's jump into this. Some of you have heard from me. Some of you haven't heard from me. So let me lay a bit of a foundation for you and calls to come and what Joe Hagan and I and Will and Nicole and everybody and Mike are trying to build and create here, which I think is amazing. I'm excited about it. But if I give you a foundation, in reality, then you won't ever take offense when we tell it like it is, okay? So for those of you that haven't heard of me, speak or teach or do any of this, we're going to be doing regular calls, regular training calls. So I hope that you have a pen and paper handy because it's going to progress. All of this will be archived at the Wealth Colony website so that you can go back and refresh it. So a couple of things I want you to write down as kind of an introduction to training. The first thing is write down a leader of three. I just talked about this on the recruiting call that we just had. I had a bunch of people on there, and it was awesome. Okay? So write down a leader of three. We'll talk about that. And the other thing I want you to consider is write down the power of seven. And I'll explain what both of these mean in just a second. So leader of three and the power of seven. Let me explain what that means in just a second, but let me give you this quick intro. For those of you that don't know my story, and I don't want to go on long about this, but it all started back in 1960. I'm just kidding, okay? I'm 54 years old. I've made a lot of money. I've had no money. I've done both, and having more money is better. But we're all about residual income, obviously. But I'm going to give you a little dose of reality, so make sure you understand this, and I preface all my calls with it. Don't take offense to anything I say. That's all I ask. If you promise me that, then we can just give you straight, hardcore reality. I know the truth is hard for some people. People say, well, bring it on, man. Tell it like it is. Tell me the truth. Really? Then when you tell it like it is, they go, why are you being a jerk about it? Okay? If you want reality, you're in the right place. If you want somebody to enable you and fluff you up and tell you how awesome you are and everything, it's the wrong place. If you want somebody to show you step-by-step how to do this, then let's make it happen. So we tell it like it is. That's the best policy. Here's the point so far in the call. I hope you understand I got to have fun with what I'm doing or I ain't doing it. If you're not enjoying what you do, I love what I do every day, and you'll see that. So get over it, have fun. Let's talk about it. All right, here's my first thing I want you to know. If you're going to be part of our team, which I hope you are, and you're going to take this seriously, then you need to declare that you are a network marketer, and you need to be proud of it, okay? And I'll tell you why. Okay, there's no bait and switch here. There's no making it sound easy. I have friends that make millions of dollars in network marketing. I've made money in network marketing, okay? There's nothing wrong with network marketing. Almost $190 billion a year is sent out in commission. Something's going right. It's huge, but some people don't do it right, and then they complain and say that it sucks. So there's three responses people usually give when you're talking to prospects out there and you're showing somebody this business. Network marketing, that's one of the pyramid schemes, right? Well, let's clear that up right now. A pyramid scheme is this. It is providing money in a structure where you don't get anything back for it. There's no products or services rendered. And people that come in late into the organization can never work their way up through the organization. It'll always be the people at the top. So now that you know this has nothing to do with a pyramid scheme, those are illegal, don't work. In network marketing, if you have what it takes, you can work your way past any leader that's in this thing. Okay, that's the good news. And my biggest goal is to have people make more than me. That's it. If you're doing that and you got the right idea behind it, then you're set. So that's the first thing. If people have had a bad experience in network marketing, listen carefully, guys. A leader of three is simply this. This is the best comp plan that's ever been created, and there's a lot of reasons for it. We don't have the regular product costs that most companies have, for their expensive juice or their makeup or their vitamins or their oils or whatever it is. Don't say I have nothing against all of those other things. Because ours is information financial based and we fall under what's called the Newsletter Act. For those of you that are wondering, well, how can I do this without being a broker? Let me let you in on a couple of things. I'm not going to dog our broker friends out there. But I think now, and maybe Joe can correct me later if I'm a little bit off on it, but what I was told this week while I was in St. Louis is it takes about 40 hours to complete the training to be a stockbroker, and now you have the ability to invest other people's money. Do you know how long it takes to get a certificate so you can cut hair? About 1,200 hours. Okay? So here's the point. The reason this thing works is because it's information-based and it falls under the Newsletter Act, which allows guys on TV to do what they do and what we do. So we have a very low product cost. So Leader at 3 is pretty simple, and I'll explain that. So here's the point. Tell it like it is. No bait and switch. Let people know what you're doing and understand the power of 7. Okay, 7 is a very critical number that you need to understand when it comes to how we train, how we speak, what we do, and what's going on. By that I mean this, and I think it'll help. Okay, I've done a lot of television and film. One of the things I've done is infomercials. One of the infomercials I did years ago, long story short, was called the 30-Minute Money System. I adapted one of my seminar presentations that I used to do on stage, and we looped it into a 30-minute infomercial on TV. After we had shown it to focus groups and everything that we did, we started doing test markets. And you guys have all seen infomercials, right, where they sell music or an opportunity or real estate or a juicer or blah, 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 right? Everybody gets that. Well, here's the mistake we made, and we're going to learn from it. We're going to use it in building the Wealth Colony organization. So listen carefully. The power of 7 when it comes to marketing is this. The mistake we made is we started blasting, buying airtime on television, spending a lot of money blasting our infomercial out in a number of different cities. So we would pick maybe 5 or 10 cities, buy what's called fringe time on television, which is preemptible time, meaning, see the infomercials at 1 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, right, that kind of stuff. People can't sleep when they're up. And we would blast 5 or 10 cities, and we got a very low response rate. And I was getting very frustrated, going, what the freak is wrong with this thing? I know it works. Okay, why are we getting such a, we got a response, but it wasn't anything what we should have had. So we had very smart marketing guy said, you know what, you're not using the power of 7. What that means is this. He said, instead of going to 5 or 10 markets, you need to go to 1 market and play your infomercial a minimum of 7 times. And here's why, and this will make sense, and we're going to use it to build Wealth Colony, and it's going to be awesome, so please listen. People have to see an infomercial on television a minimum of 7 times before they will respond. People need to see a billboard on the side of the road a minimum of 7 times before they acknowledge it, understand it, okay, and it's something that they actually recognize as having content. Well, when you're teaching principles of success at any level, people have to hear strategies, techniques, or trainings a minimum of 7 times before it starts to be ingrained into what we call their financial blueprint. You're going to hear me and Joe and Will and all of us that are building this together and committed to this. You're going to hear us teach things over and over again. Do not get tired of the repetition. Embrace the repetition, because you may have heard a principle 1,000,000 times. It doesn't matter, because there's somebody that needs to hear it for the 7th time. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? So the power of 7 is absolutely critical. When we're talking about leadership, okay, there's many leaders that we can learn from, okay? There's 2 types of leaders out there. The leaders of the weak, right? People are just following, okay, whatever. And I guess you can build an organization, do that. But if you really want to hang with us and build a substantial residual income with wealth generators, you had better understand the power of leading 3. So listen very carefully to these numbers here, okay? Because I think it will make sense. We've all heard, well, a lot of us have heard through the years, right, that if you follow leaders, watch what they do, great. Kind of a side note, too, though, if you think about it. You can learn from good leaders. You can learn from bad leaders. And what I mean by that is this. We've regularly heard the cliche, right, when it comes to people in history, people being natural-born leaders. I don't know if you guys ever heard that. Well, she's a natural-born leader, man. She was just meant to do that, as if we're saying that They were born with the ability to speak or inspire or motivate or do whatever. Well, when you say that, it neglects a number of realities that are out there that may, listen carefully, distort your perception of other people, but most importantly, distort your perception of your potential, if that makes sense. Natural born leaders, you know, there used to be a thing in network marketing, you know, I got to find leaders. You know what? Come on. We'll build them, okay? So whether you believe it or not, leadership is something that anyone can develop, and that is going to be our key. Okay, not lemmings, not sheep. We're going to build leaders, and if people are willing to do the hard work, they'll be able to make it happen. So here's what I want you to consider. I promise you, everybody on this call, if you're willing to do the work, leadership and leading three, right? Leadership, it's not seen in kind of the outward, see if this makes sense. It's not seen in the outward manifestations of a leader, okay? Leadership is seen in the responses of the people that they're leading. I'll say that again, listen carefully. If you get this foundation, I'm telling you, we're going to build a monster organization that's going to work. Leadership isn't just based on the person that's chirping away and all of these things and all of the time. It's seen, good leadership is seen in the people that are being led. So you need to understand, you got the potential to do way more than you're doing right now. So do I, and we're going to keep working on that, okay? You have the potential to make more money, do more things. So here's a quick question for you, and it's real simple, and it deals with personal responsibility, personal growth. I promise you this. Network marketing is nothing more than personal development disguised in a network marketing plan. That's it, okay? Money does not change you. That's what we've always been told. Money only enhances who and what you are. So if you're an idiot and you're broke and we teach you how to make a lot of money, if you don't change some fundamentals, you're going to be a rich idiot and a jerk to people, okay? Not what we're looking for. But if you don't have a lot of money right now, but you're kind and you like people and you're always trying to help, okay, and you're broke or whatever, okay, and you make a lot of money, that's where we can actually start to make some changes. So here's my question. Be honest with this, with yourself, not to me, right? Who's talking you out of your success right now? So when I say be a leader of three, let me explain this last part here. That's all we're going to do for tonight's call, so I want to keep it to about 20 minutes, okay? All right. You cannot lead other people in network marketing, business, spiritually, mentally, physically, socially, in any other way, okay, unless you lead yourself. So what are you doing every day? 30 minutes a day needs to be spent watching webinars, going through all of the positive motivational quotes and stories and talks that we have, all of those things. I'm reading 2 books right now. One of them is by a buddy of mine that I speak with out at Get Motivated. His name's Dr. Willie Jolly. It's called It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life. If you're not reading positive things, your head can only take so much information. So you got to evaluate, okay, what are you really doing? How do you want to build this business? And understand there's no get rich quick. It's going to take us time to do it. So I'm going to give you a couple statistics about leading 3, okay? I think it is a mistake, okay? And if this kind of, just take this for what it is. I think it's a mistake, especially for new people getting in network marketing, to spend a lot of time showing them these massive compensation plans and these levels that are so huge, and numbers and rev share and company, and once you hit that, because that's down the road. What you need to focus on is this. Network marketing, 97% of the people have never made enough to cover their auto ship for their products. The attrition rate, people falling out of network marketing, is huge. So here's what I want you to consider in finishing this, okay? Listen carefully, and it'll be part of how you present this to people, and then we're going to open up if you got questions. Being a leader of 3 is this. Number 1, and this is old school, we're going to teach it over and over again. If you are not using wealth generator software and haven't entered your accounts and budgeting and all that kind of stuff, you're not serious about this, go do something else. That's as straight as I can say it. You've got to use those things. You have to be a product of the product. If you're saying, well, Danny, I don't got any money to put into the stock market, all right? If you have not opened up an online trading account and are not paper trading, to practice so you understand the value of the experts' alerts, you need to do it. So you need to go online. You need to log in. Okay? You need to take it seriously. It's always amazing to me. People will spend time on the things that interest them the most. We're always trying to either get away from pain or trying to create pleasure. That's a simple concept, right? So I got an idea. Stop watching TV. Spend time budgeting. Spend time paper trading. Understand what Sandy Bodkin is talking about when we're talking about the tax benefits, write-offs, and incentives that go along with the business. So I got a question for you. See if it makes sense. Okay? Would you give somebody $130 a month if every month they handed you back $500? That's our business. I have a goal. Joe has a goal. We all have a goal, and that is simply this, okay? Because so many people leave network marketing early, okay? You don't win championships at the end of the year. You win championships in the off season. So if you're ready for it, here's what we're going to do. 85% of the success is seen in the last 15% of the effort. Simple concept, right? So, power of 3, this is it. You need to make sure you're using the software. Make sure that you're budgeting, okay? Make sure that you are paper trading, okay, because now you're leading by example. I've always heard this, and I'm tired of it. So are you. Actions speak louder than words. You've heard that before. Well, it's true. Have you guys heard this one? Well, it's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. You freaking kidding me right now? It's the thought that counts. The thought doesn't mean jack. I thought about going to the gym. I thought about eating less. I thought about being nice to my kids or my spouse. Oh, don't worry about it. Just because you didn't do it, it's a thought. It's a thought doesn't mean anything. Words don't mean anything. You can't successfully lead unless you're living this stuff. So all you need to do is get engaged, because the tax benefits, write-offs, and incentives that go along with a home-based business far outweigh $130 a month to have the business. Number 2, lead 3. If everybody follows this concept, and I will say it 1,000,000 times until you get it and we get you to where you want to go, find 3 people that are willing to do the same. All you need to do is lead 3 people to do the same. You want to lead leaders, not lead the weak. So I will finish this call with this, and hopefully it's not too intense for some of you, but my experience for 25 years and being in front of millions of people is people respect and appreciate honesty. Use the stuff yourself. Find 3 people that want to be leaders, and watch how quickly you can build a massive organization. If you have all of these tools engaged in your life, okay, you will want to talk to people about it, because the tax benefits are greater, obviously, than anything else. So you're coming out ahead before you even help anybody. Teach 3 people to do the same thing. You focus on leading those 3 and help them just focus on that one thing. Forget about the comp plan, how complicated it is, and learning all of that stuff. I could care less. You help people get 3. If every level of leadership does that, okay, within a few months, and I'll send out a spreadsheet and I'll show it to you, and Will help me with this. It's real simple, okay? If you do that for 3 months and stay consistent, just stay with your 3 people and lead them and teach them to lead 3, within about 3 months, you will be making more in wealth generators, and with us at Wealth Colony, you'll be making more than 97% of the people that have ever joined a network marketing company in the history of network marketing. So to recap, power of 7. Okay, we're going to say things over and over. We're going to teach it. It doesn't matter how many times you've heard it. Somebody needs to hear it. So we're going to train over and over. All of these webinars and training programs are going to be part of the Wealth Colony website. It's going to be awesome. A leader of 3. I'm going to get a freaking tattoo right here on my arm that says a leader of 3. Just care enough about 3 people that aren't talking about it, that aren't all words, the thought that counts. 3 people, and teach them to do the same thing. Some of the best advice I ever got from one of my network marketing mentors is you should only work with a handful of people, because if you're doing calls and 3-ways and deal, you can't build an organization doing everything yourself. But what you can do, is effectively and powerfully work with 3 people who will effectively and powerfully work with their 3 people, and leadership will grow. But the foundation is to use this stuff yourself. So, Will, if you're ready to unmute, those are 2 main things I wanted to go through. I look forward to helping everybody. I'm going to be doing a whole set. Ryan Daly, who's one of the executives at Wealth Generators. He's helping me write my book right now, which is A Leader of 3, a step-by-step guide to financial freedom and network marketing. So you'll see more of that as we're writing it. But I'm going to be adding a number of these leadership strategies and techniques as we go to help you do that. So all right, so guys, appreciate you getting on the call. If you got any questions, either call us, email us, do whatever. I will see you on the next one. Do well, stick with us, about consistently. Appreciate all of you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.